Fiery outbursts, trade drama, and a schedule showdown that could light up the NFL's biggest stage. Commanders fans, this episode is loaded. Before we jump into Trey Hendrickson, possibly bringing his all-pro firepower to DC, and why Jayden Daniels might be opening the season under the brightest lights of Sunday Night Football. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Commanders HQ, and turn on those notifications so you never miss the inside scoop. All right, let's dive in, because the fire in Cincinnati might just be sparking something special in Washington. Tensions are boiling in Cincinnati, and Washington Commanders GM Adam Peters might just be ready to strike while the iron is hot. Bull pass rusher Trey Hendrickson is not happy. In fact, his recent public statement to ESPN's Adam Schefter wasn't just a crack in the armor, it was a full-on explosion. No communication has taken place. The offers did not reflect the vision we shared. There is an evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals. That's from Hendrickson himself. The man who notched 17.5 sacks in 2023, forced quarterbacks to second-guess every snap, and fueled the Bengals' defensive identity, now feels iced out and disrespected. He already requested a trade earlier this offseason, and while both sides seemed open to mending fences back then, it now looks like the bridge might be burned. With the Bengals' radio silent and Hendrickson simmering, NFL insiders say he could be on the move sooner than we think. So why are the Commanders in the middle of this? Let's break it down. Here's the deal. Dan Quinn's defense thrives on chaos, pressure, relentless disruption in the backfield. And while Washington's current rotation includes some solid contributors like Dorrance Armstrong, Ife Obada, and rookie Jonah Ellis, there's no denying the Commanders are still one elite edge rusher away from a championship-caliber front. Enter Trey Hendrickson. He's the exact mold Quinn loves. High motor, explosive first step, a finisher, a tone setter. Hendrickson is one of only 4 players in the NFL with 40-plus sacks over the past 3 seasons, and his ability to line up across formations would perfectly complement LBs like Bobby or Wagner and safeties like Jeremy Chin, giving Washington a multi-dimensional defensive identity. But let's not pretend this is simple. Hendrickson comes with baggage, and we're not just talking emotions. His current cap hit in 2025 sits at over $17 million, and word is he wants a massive extension north of $30 million per year. Washington just dished out draft picks to land Laramie Tunsil and Marshon Lattimore. That means only 5 picks in 2026 remain. The second and fourth rounds are gone. If Adam Peters wants Hendrickson, he might have to dip into his 2027 war chest. Is that wise? Risky? It depends on what this team's window looks like. And, honestly, based on the momentum, the youth, and the culture shift happening under Quinn. This window is opening faster than anyone expected. You can feel it in the building. The confidence. The swagger. So could Peters make one more bold swing before camp? If he believes Hendrickson puts them over the top, yes. And if Hendrickson really wants out, the Bengals may be more open than ever to making a deal. Now let's shift gears a bit. Because while the front office is playing chess, the league is getting ready to play primetime poker. The NFL's 2025 schedule drops this week, and insiders are already buzzing about one marquee matchup that could kick off the season with fireworks. Jayden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. Sunday. Night Football, Week 1. Yeah, you heard that right. The 2024 Commanders-Bears clash ended in Hail Mary madness. And now? The league has a perfect rematch narrative with 2 franchise QBs, number 1 and number 2 overall picks, leading ascending teams with rabid fan bases. It's the kind of dual networks drool over. Let's not forget, the Bears are rejuvenated under Ben Johnson. The Commanders are surging with Dan Quinn, Deebo Samuel, and a defense that bullied its way to the NFC Championship. This is appointment TV. And if you think that's the only spotlight Washington is stepping into, think again. The Commanders are on track to match their franchise record of 5 primetime games in a single season. Between the expected Thursday night football slot, the international game in Madrid against the Dolphins, and division showdowns against Dallas and Philly, the league has a golden opportunity to make Washington a primetime mainstay. And let's be honest, they should be. This team is no longer a punchline. With Jayden Daniels, Brian Robinson, Debo, Tunsil, and Lattimore, the Commanders are entertainment. They're one of the hottest tickets in the NFL, and the league knows it. One final nugget about the schedule, after suffering through a brutal Week 14, bye in 2024. Don't be surprised if the Commanders catch a break this year. Our prediction? Washington gets a bye before Week 10, giving Quinn and his staff a chance to reset before the playoff push. And with Hendrickson potentially in the fold and the team eyeing a full-on title run, that kind of rest at the right time could be the difference between a deep playoff push and burnout. Rookie minicamp is officially underway in Ashburn, and while most eyes are on the fresh 2025 draft class getting their first taste of the NFL, the heartbeat of this team is still clearly number 5, Jayden Daniels. Coming off a historic rookie season where he not only won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but led the Commanders to the NFC Championship game. Yeah, let's not breeze past that. Daniels established himself as the guy in DC. And now, heading into year 2, the expectations? Through the roof. But guess who isn't running from those expectations? Jayden Daniels. He's embracing it, attacking it, and according to WR1 Terry McLaurin, he's not even close to satisfied. At a recent community event supporting the homeless and at-risk youth, which, by the way, is classic McLaurin being the leader and role model he's always been, Terry gave us a rare window into what makes Jayden Daniels special. Let me read you what he said via USA. The way I saw Jayden grow leaps and bounds last year, we all knew the type of competitor he was. He's extremely smart and very charismatic, but you've got to see his competitive edge out there on Sundays. The way he just got better week in and week out. There were a lot of Sundays where he was our best player. Stop right there. This is a 6-year vet who's caught passes from almost a dozen different quarterbacks in DC, and he's calling a rookie the best player on the field most Sundays? That's no throwaway compliment. That's McLaurin putting his stamp of approval on Daniels as a franchise quarterback. And he didn't stop there. He can make all the throws. And again, I think it's just his competitive nature. You feel like you've got a chance to make big plays with the ball in his hands. That's not just chemistry, that's belief. Last year, McLaurin finally got some stability under center. And what happened? 13 touchdowns, career highs, and most importantly, wins. You could see the trust building with each week, each scramble drill, each highlight reel moment. With another offseason of work, better offensive line protection, and even more weapons on the outside, don't be surprised if McLaurin and Daniels enter that elite WRQB duo conversation in 2025, alongside Burrow Chase, Mahomes Kelsey, and yes, even Dak Seedy, as painful as that is to say. And guess what? McLaurin made it crystal clear that Daniels isn't coasting. He could have just hung his hat on what he did last year. But you can tell he still has a hunger for more. That hunger, that's what separates good from great. And with McLaurin leading by example, that locker room is dialed in. Now let's talk about the other elephant in the room, Debo Samuel. The Commanders made headlines with the bold trade, reuniting Debo with Dan Quinn and Wes Welker, and giving Jayden Daniels yet another dangerous target. And McLaurin, he's not just fine with it, he's pumped. He praised Adam Peters and the front office for changing the direction of the franchise and emphasized how exciting it is to play with a guy like Debo who brings versatility, physicality, and a chip on his shoulder. Just imagine this. McLaurin lining up wide, Debo in motion, Jayden in shotgun, Devontae Parker or Jahan Dotson stretching the field, and Austin Eckler leaking out the backfield. That's a nightmare for opposing defenses. And let's not forget, this team didn't just make flashy moves. They added in the trenches, reinforced the pass rush, and kept the core intact. It's not hype, it's real. McLaurin didn't shy away from what this team is chasing. He said it clearly. Daniels isn't content. Neither is he. This locker room knows how close they were in 2024. And now, with a full offseason, another draft class, and a unified locker room, they're chasing one thing, a Super Bowl. This isn't the Commanders of old. This is a new culture, new front office, new identity, and it's built around a legit franchise quarterback and a WR1 who's still ascending. So don't be surprised when this team earns 5 primetime games. Don't be surprised when Week 1 features Jayden versus Caleb in a national spotlight. The league sees it. The players feel it. And fans? We should believe it too. So here's the million-dollar question. Would you trade future draft capital and pay Trey Hendrickson $30 million per year if it meant the Commanders could push for a Super Bowl? Now, let us know in the comments. Would you roll the dice, or is the price too steep? Smash that like button if you're loving the off-season energy. Subscribe for more Insider Commanders content every single week. And don't forget, we'll be right here breaking down the 2025 schedule the moment it drops. This is Commanders HQ, and this is our time.